How many do I get?
7. Good. All right.
Okay,
I won.
draw.
I'll go first.
Okay, you draw. I can take that. I'll give you that one.
I'm sitting in the back of the chapel, and they're running the homecoming queen court on stage, and Susie was one of the princesses. And I go, now there's a girl you could take home to mother.
And I remember looking out this corner of my eye, and he was watching me.
She would tell me that her dad was a farmer, and I go, oh, great, no big deal. I met the family and didn't feel out of place at all. And we were going to a show that night. I see a sign that says Sagerstrom Avenue. And I go, by chance any relationship? And she says, oh, that was named after my great-grandfather. And I go, oh, okay, fine. And that was it. And we become engaged. And Dad says, well, I think it's time to show Steve behind curtain number 3. And so he showed me the farm. Well,
We started out as lima bean farmers. Then the 405 freeway came in right through the middle of our land. They wrote us a check. And so the family thought, what can we do with that? And that's how our South Coast Plaza was born. It was kind of protecting my name and stuff like that. So I was kind of scared on how Steve would react to all that my family has done and has down here in Orange County.
love is blind. I had no idea why I made no connection to it.
A committee from the music center wanted to build a performing arts center here. And so got my family thinking, okay, where do we have some land available?
And I'm like going, wow, this is something else. I feared the responsibility because to whom much is given, much is required. Susie and I had always believed that we've been blessed to be a blessing. And as much as we are able to enjoy many things that I never experienced as a youth because of that blessing, there was always this quandary of guilt. Are we spending too much on ourselves? Of the two of us, I probably had the greatest struggle in finding that balance with my faith. For me, it was always a question of what does God expect of me? What does it take to hear God say, well done, faithful steward? Probably the saving grace in that for me was a letter from Millard Fuller, the founder of Habitat for Humanity. And he says that if all the Christians of the world begin to advocate themselves with the wealth that God has entrusted to them, then whom would God have to fund his kingdom? And I realized there's the purpose. I sensed God's calling that he was leading me to something else other than congregational ministry. At that time, Sacred Harvest Foundation was formed. That which once produced an edible harvest now will produce an eternal harvest.
It means a lot because I was on those tractors and thrashers with my dad and my grandfather.
As we formed our foundation, our portfolio was out of balance. It was very U.S. church-oriented and very little international focus. My board says, well, where do you want to go? And I believe if we're going to have any kind of significant impact, we're going to have to go find one region and go long and go deep. And over about a 5-year period, I finally came to the conclusion that it was the Philippines where God wanted us to go. And of all the islands, we decided on Mindanao because it was the least resource. We give to organizations that we know, and Sue has made some of those relationships that have led our giving, such as Cure International. Sue fell in love because they met a real deep and profound need that needs to be addressed, but also had that deep spiritual commitment because we believe the gospel has to have a presence that's real and tangible, but it also is proclamation and word.
Steve Perry.
When we went into the Philippines, we looked at faith-based organizations that were in need of building capacity. Cure had talked to us to support their hospitals, so that began the process.
It wasn't just Steve and me and our Sacred Harvest that helped get this hospital up and running. There was so many people involved in it.
The Tebow Foundation became a significant financial partner with us, along with a number of Filipino expats and local Filipinos to complete the project. Everyone who goes in that hospital today marvels at it.
It's amazing. And what it spoke to me is it's letting those people know they are loved.
I hope there'll be this subliminal message that says to them that they're worthy of the best that God has to give them.
Back home in their villages, they are ostracized. The kid just stays in their little village in the little hut all day and can't go out and play with the other children. And now they'll be whole. That's what's so amazing. They'll be whole and they can carry on their life. I am just so proud of that hospital as a mother that we have a place that the mothers can take their children to. I think those mothers are so grateful for what they have down there in the Philippines. And even my son-in-law, who's a physical therapist, was wowing and awing and going around, and it's got all the modern equipment.
And he saw how well it was done, how clean it was, the care provided not just for the patient, but for their family as well. So from top to bottom, through the whole staff, the mission of Cure is embedded in terms of service and excellence in the proclamation of Jesus Christ.